everybody, it's Micheline from Micheline Makes again, with another vlog, and it's kind of a bit of everything. I thought I'd just do a bit of everything because I've got a few things that I need to catch up with from previous videos and give response to, and so this is going to be a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of the other. So let's start with Janice K. Actually, what I did was, I don't know if you've noticed, but when you make comments, I do try to answer them. And when I first put a vlog up, I start to answer them because the comments come in. I start to answer them, and then they come in faster. So I'm trying to catch up and keep up, but then I don't have time. So then when I go back, I think, all right, I'll start at the top and work down. And there's a batch of people in the middle that don't get a response. And then every now and again, when I've got 5 minutes, I try to go back through them all and find out what people have said. And sometimes I miss a comment and I think, oh God, I bet I should answer that. It's getting harder the more subscribers I get, but I am trying to keep up with it all. But I've just been going through them all just about 5 minutes ago, and I think I've managed to respond to everybody who's said something. If you just made a little comment like, I love your vlogs, it's great, or I like your sunglasses, or I like that, then I just give you a heart and a whatever it is, a tick and a heart or whatever it is. But I do try to answer the longer questions. As I say, it will get harder as time goes on. But I've just come across a couple of comments. One was from, it was regarding the glasses, my glasses that I got, that I buy online. And it was Janice K who said, how do you do a prescription when you're doing it online? So what I will do is I'll do a very quick vlog somewhere after this that shows you how you order your spectacles online, and that will let you see how you do it. And another one was Pauline Owens. I think I've written it that fast, I can't read my own writing. Pauline Owens, I think she said. In England, she says that apparently Asda you can get prescription glasses and they're very cheap. I can't remember how much she said, but I thought, whoa, that's a good bargain. And she reckons you can get varifocals at a cheap rate. Now, I don't go to my Asda very much because my husband thinks it looks... whenever we go there, he says, I don't like the look of this Asda. But the Asda that I have up in Northumberland is absolutely wonderful, and I would imagine that's a bigger one, and they will have a prescription place for people to get prescription glasses. So I'll have to, when I'm heading up to Northumberland sometime, I'll have to pop in and have a look and see what they do. My legs are improving. It is now about 2 months since I did, or a month, 4 or 5 weeks since I did the vlog. They are improving. They still feel rock hard, but I'm seeing my ankles. My ankles are getting thinner. Not as thin as I would like them to go. Not as thin as I doubt they'll ever go to, but they are looking thin. The funny thing is, I think I told you that I fell with my dog. Well, where I fell with my dog, my left ankle is wider than my right ankle, and I don't know why, but I've got a slightly wider left ankle. Anyway, so yes, it is improving. I've gone through the phase of the feeling like my legs have been stung with wasps, and now it's not so bad. It's easing off now, but there was an occasion where I was going to bed and I felt like my legs had been burnt by sunburn, as if I'd been out in the sun all day, and every time my legs hit the sheets, they felt really uncomfortable. But they are improving. I'm on the way. I'm getting there. And the other thing is, thank you very much to all those people who said, who complimented me on writing the book about my father, and even more so to those of you who bought the book on Kindle or on the book itself, who've actually read it and have absolutely enjoyed it. And I loved the comments from those of you who said, is there another one, because we've enjoyed that one so much, where's the follow-on? Well, there isn't a follow-on at the moment, but if I get to retire, there might be a follow-on. And I'm hoping if that happens, it doesn't take me 4 or 5 years to put together like this one did. But I'm pleased you really enjoyed it. I'll put the link below for those of you who haven't got it and who are still interested. For me, it's not the fact that to make money. It's the fact that I think every time every time he told us a story, I used to enjoy listening to it. And I remember once we used to go out with some friends, and every weekend I'd tell them a little bit more about something that happened with my father. And they say, your father is fascinating. He's had a fascinating life, and he's done some amazing things, and he's really, I don't know, I just think you'll enjoy reading it. And I know that, as I say, several of you have said you've really enjoyed it. So I'm pleased you have. I'm pleased you've got to the end and actually felt that it was worth buying. It was worth reading. I think you can get it free if you're free with the Kindle. If you something to do with Kindle Library or something. I don't have a Kindle. Well, I do have a Kindle, but I don't have time to read. But I do know that I think you can rent it for free or something. It's a bit, I think there's a lending library where you subscribe to it throughout the year, and you can get as many books out as you like or something. At least that's what Kindle has told me, but I don't know much about it. Also, I think that's all. Now what have I told you about my legs, I told you about my glasses. Oh, but no, I shouldn't tell you that, should I? Do you know my lovely glasses that I got? Nothing wrong with the glasses. Not that I'm not talking about the big ones. They'll be fine. I'm talking about the frameless ones. I've broken them. Yeah. It's a feeling that I have. I love frameless glasses, and it's a feeling that I have that sometimes I put them on my head like that, and that's fine. I mean, they drop off sometimes, and generally they're quite strong. But this particular day, about a week ago, I had them on my head and I was taking a jumper off, and I went like that, caught both arms on, both the jumper on both sides, and when I pulled it off, it must have twanged the glasses in such a way that they broke the glass. So I guess he was going to have to get another pair. Don't tell him. Don't tell him. He knows, actually. He won't mind. Now today, I know I say that I drink water, but look what he's brought in today. In a dirty glass. He's brought me a glass of white wine. And this glass of white wine, I do like wine, but it takes me forever to drink. This will take me the whole evening to drink. And when I do drink it, I'll probably have a couple of sips and then and not drink the rest of it. Not because I don't like it, but I just never get around to it. But my father, here's another little tale about my father. 93 he was, and he used to say that every day in the whole of his life, he always had a glass of red wine. Now, I'm not so partial to red wine, but he always said he had a glass of red wine, and it never did him any harm. He always had the glass of red wine with his evening meal, and he thought, for him it was just a perfect finish to a day, a nice meal and a glass of red wine. Not too much of it, but he did like his glass of red wine. Anyway, now I'm going to go back. Do you remember these two garments that I bought when I was out shopping? This needle cord one and this one. Well, I got some lovely comments from you all about how nice they were. Now this is a little bit creased because it's been washed and I forgot to take the brooch off, and so the brooch has actually been through the wash as well. When it was wet, I gave it a quick iron, but it's got to have its second iron to get rid of all the creases. It's an IZ by Isabel, if that's any help to you, those of you who are asking. And this is a size 14, although normally I would buy a 16 or an 18. I can't remember whether it was Jackie or somebody said, that's what I mean, you need something like that with a nice, not exposing your breast, but something with a nice opening. And yes, you're right, Jackie. Everybody said it looked lovely on me. I think the fabric was a bit of an eye-opener for me, because every time I've looked at these tropical fabrics, I thought, oh, they're lovely, but I don't know if it's for me. But that's I was well impressed with that. So then a couple of people gave me suggestions, because I had said I wouldn't mind making it another one. You can see it's got a pleat on the inside. It's an inverted pleat there. And oh, sorry, I've just knocked the camera there. So a couple of people gave me some suggestions. So The first suggestion was from Jenny Flake. Hi Jenny. And this was the McCalls 7360, and that's the McCalls 7360. I'll put a proper picture up there so you can see. And this is very similar to that one. It has the sleeves exactly the same. It has this opening the same, and it basically goes down. This one has a curved bottom, and so that is very, very similar to it. So I like that one, and that's the back pattern. I'll probably put a picture up to let you see the back pattern. No, it's not very clear, but I'll put a picture up to show you the back, the diagrams, the drawings. Then Shari, I think Shari's in Canada near Nova Scotia. I might be wrong. Shari mentioned another one. This is the one I got free from the Love Sewing magazine, which is a McCalls M7357. It's not the same, but it's very similar in that it's got a V going down. This one has a little oh, what's the word for that? It's called I can't think of a discreet. It's a discreet kind of cover there to cover your cleavage, and so I like that one. I think that might look nice in a nice drapey fabric. Then another one which there's two, and then another one that I came across was a Burda 6632. Not exactly the same. I don't know. Can I show? Will that show? 6632. Not exactly the same, but it's very pale, so you might not be able to see it very well. But I'll put a picture up there to let you see. The Burda 6632. It comes down as a V with buttons going down. It looks quite a nice pattern as well. And then there's this Shari also recommended one to me, which was, now let me see if I can find it. This is a very old iPad I've got. It's an iPad 2, and I've had it. I think the first when I was 60, I got a lump sum of money. Not a great sum of pension money to my private pension, which sadly, when the part of the reason why we were working still is because it was around about the recession time in England, and we were told, you know, get yourself a private pension. I remember my dad saying, make sure you got a good private pension, which we did. But unfortunately, our generation who had a lot of money in pensions lost a lot of money to the big the crash with in the recession, to all the bankers who went and bought themselves big boats and all God knows what else, and unfortunately I didn't get much of a payout. So I said to my husband, I said, I'm going to get something. So I got myself this little iPad, Apple iPad 2, and it's every time I try to do something it says, sorry, it's too old, you can't do anything on it. Far too old, you can't do anything. So it basically sits in here, and every now and again I do manage to use it, but most of the time it's basically, I use it for watching YouTube videos because I can't do much else on it. Anyway, that's by the by. So the other one that Shari was mentioning to me, so give me a second and I'll see if I can find it for you, is this one. Come on. Defuzz yourself. Right, it's the Butterick 6632, and I like that one as well. Oh, there. Can you see that? Butterick 6632. Again, I'll put a picture up to let you see what it looks like up there. That's got a bit more of a gathered bit round the, it's got this little collar attachment, but this bit here is gathered, and it looks like it's raglan sleeves, which I quite like because I've got square shoulders and raglan sleeves seem to look nice on me. But and she did this one I like, but I looked it up and I thought, oh, I'll get that pattern, But in England, I don't know what price it is in America, but in England it's £10. Now £10 is what, something like $15 or something around that kind of level. And I just figured, no, much as I love it, I'm not spending that much money. Then I came across, I've started getting back into Lekala, and I came across this in Lekala. Now I don't know if you can see that. There, put it there. I'll put a picture up again because it's not very clear. It's a Lekala top. It's more or less the same thing with the inverted pleat rather than an pleat that goes outside. And so I downloaded that. And basically the pattern is like that. I've got a very bright light here. I'll turn that off for the moment so you can see. The pattern is like that. It's a one-piece thing, but I just basically put a fold. I would put a fold down there because that's the same as that side, so you could put it on the fold. So I've downloaded that one. So what basically I thought I might try and make at least 2 or 3 of those because they are nice, and you all said it looked lovely. And so this is the first one I've started on, and I thought it was so nice that I decided to start with that one. Because the pattern was cheap as well. I think it was only about $3.50 or something, which is fantastic by my standards. I've downloaded the pattern. It's a PDF pattern. You have to stick it together, which is quite good when you're just sitting watching TV. The fabric that I used was something I bought 2 years ago when I first started sewing again. I bought it cheaply from Boys in, I don't know if that's throughout the country, it's a shop called Boys. And it was a nice fabric, but it started, I had used another one with a different pattern in one of my first vlogs, and I made a comment that when I sewed, it was black on the front, the fabric's black on one side and it's white on the back, and I found that the fibres were turning themselves around when I was sewing. And the first thought, as I had and every other one said, you're not using the right needle, use a ballpoint needle, or your needle's not sharp enough. Well, I had changed my needle several times and I still had the problem. However, this fabric, I've got it hanging up here because it's nearly made. This fabric was very similar, and I was almost going to bin it. I was almost either going, well, I wouldn't say bin it, I was going to put it in a charity bag. And in the end I thought, no, I'll use it to try this pattern, this Lekala pattern, and see what it looks like. And if it turns out nice, then all well and good, I'll wear it. And if not, I can chuck it in a charity bag. So I shall show you what it looks like. Now, do you remember this top as well? Do you remember this top? This was from one of my vlogs, which I'll put up there. I made this from a dress pattern. So it's quite baggy around the bottom, but it's a dress. It was a dress that I bought in a charity shop, and then I converted it into a blouse. And like my t-shirt, my seagull t-shirt that has about 8 pieces, this has got 2 pieces because there's a seam down that arm, but there isn't one down there, because I was able to make the top and get a sleeve out of one side, but I had to do this in 2 pieces. So anyway, I'll get this one here, and this is my Lekala one. This has turned out like this so far. It's got a pleat, the back, an in pleat, and complete with cat hairs. It's got sleeves like that, and this keeps dropping off there, but this is more or less the same as that. Now I've got that one, I don't know if you can see, very similar opening, similar top collar, on the back inverted pleat. Oh yes, they're both the same kind of pleat, both an inverted pleat, and a little collar band on the top. I was quite pleased with that Lekala top because I downloaded the instructions, but I forgot to print them off, and so I started happily sewing away, and then I got to the front placket and I was thinking, how do I do this now? Come on, you know how I'm trying to think it out, and I'm thinking, right, well that has to be folded in half, and then we'll do this, that, and then we'll do a fold like that, and a fold like that, and then that goes into there, and then that's got to overlap like that, but it's got to be like that. And then I started thinking, no, that can't be right, that can't be right. So then I went and started looking at the instructions, and it was more or less right. So I kind of winged it with that, and I think I've kind of done okay with it. I'm really pleased with it. Considering I've winged it, I'm very pleased. It's turned out better than I thought it would. So yeah, I'm going to finish that off. So what I thought I'll do is I'll make 2 or 3, and then you can see what you think, whether you can look. Oh, with that Lekala one didn't have pockets, so I've put pockets in, and also it's a bit longer than the white one, so than the original one. So I don't know, I might shorten it a bit, or I might leave it long, because I quite like it long. And I will probably do at least maybe AN other. And I haven't decided which one the AN other is. I might do either of those 2. I will probably, in fact I might do 3, because I'll do that one and I'll do another AN other. It might be either this one, or it might be the Butterick. Well, not the Butterick, because the Butterick's too expensive. It might be the Burda, because Burda's a challenging one. I used to do Burda patterns years and years ago. Years and years ago I bought Burda magazines, and I like a challenge. I love a challenge. And when the very first time I got the Burda pattern book, I loved all the lovely designs, and they were different from the British ones, and I thought it was great. And then I saw the pattern in the middle, and I thought, oh my goodness, how do you do this? And then I got quite good at it, at picking the colour and tracing around it. But it's very time consuming. So I don't know if they've improved or if they've changed. I can tell you, I know I'm all over the place with this video, so please excuse me. I can tell you about the Lekala pattern that I did. It was, I think the last time I downloaded Lekala was a year ago, when I downloaded a sweatshirt top for me. And it's, the nice thing about it is you put in your own measurements, so it's basically going to fit you. And the other thing that I liked about it is they're actually improving the instructions. Before it was just like about 3 lines. It would say sew shoulders, sew the shoulders, sew the back, upper back to lower back, sew the sleeves. It would be very minimal. It's slightly more detailed now, so there's a little bit more detail. I still think that probably if you were a beginner, you might struggle. But if you weren't, if you were in kind of beginner to intermediate, I think you'd be able to manage it. However, if you would like me to do a sew along with one of those, with a Lekala pattern, I'd happily do that for you. So that was that pattern. Now the other one, if I can get her ladyship. Are you going to move off there, miss? Are you going to move? She's gone to sleep on there. She's a standing sleeper. Aren't those little toes gorgeous? Look at those little toes. Aren't they gorgeous? Are you purring? You didn't used to purr when I first got you, didn't you not? You didn't used to purr. Now look at those tiny little toes. Tiny little fingers, tiny little toes. Now, but the only problem is, I'm going to have to remove her from there, and she's not going to like it. And the last time I removed her, she spat and clawed the side of my hand. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge getting her off this dress, isn't it? Is it going to be a bit of a challenge to get you off this dress, missy? Yes, it is. It's going to be a bit of a challenge getting you off there.